This video we tested muzzle attachments when it comes to compensators inside Modern Warfare 2 to figure out which ones are the best at helping with recoil. So what we did is we took 3 weapons. We took the M4, the TAQ-V, and we also took the RAAL LMG. And then what we done is we went into the muzzles and we basically tested each and every one of the kind of compensator type muzzles for recoil control. So this is going to be ones like the slash gen, is going to be ones like the dark, the flash hider, and then there's some more farther down the list as well here, like the RF crown, the Komodo heavy, the ported. And we also tested just to make sure. First up, we have the M4 and we have all of the recoil tests on screen for you to see. The base of the weapon is on the very left, so you can do a comparison. And quickly just picking out the main ones here, I have shortened the names of all these compensators, but it doesn't really matter too much because we're going to pick out the best ones anyway, and then I'll show you the official names in game. But when it comes to the base weapon, you can see that on the left. Then I do think the dark is actually a really solid compensator, especially considering it's one of the ones you unlock near the start of the game cycle. So if you are looking for an attachment to unlock, that does help with that side-to-side recoil, and it does tune down those curves as well. So I do think it's a good compensator. The ported is helping out probably the best out of all of them on this page, and that is helping with the vertical and the horizontal control. Definitely one of the best there when it comes to actual control. And then we are looking at the knocker. I do think the knocker helps out a bit as well when it comes to tuning down those curves and helping with the horizontal control. And then also the Komodo heavy is also a really solid choice as well, especially for that horizontal recoil control, pretty much what it states in game. Next up, we're on the TAQ-V. Doesn't have many compensator attachments, but as you can see, again, a similar test we have, and we've got the base weapon on the very left. You can see the TZL is actually doing a pretty decent job at tuning down that horizontal control, but I do think the dark is actually doing a little bit better of a job overall, as well as the LRA is pretty solid too. And then we've got the lock shot, which is doing not too bad of a job as well. And the rest are not really too good. Lastly, we have the RAAL LMG. We've got the base weapon on the very left. We fired only 40 rounds with this gun because you do get quite a large mag, but we didn't want to kind of make the recoil chart off the screen. And this is just so we can compare it very easily. Now, if we are looking at some of the better attachments for this one, the dark again stands out above the rest when it comes to that horizontal control. Is definitely doing a solid job. In terms of vertical, it doesn't really help very much, but it does tune down the curves as well as the side-to-side bounce of the weapon. The GH50 is doing a very good job at vertical control, so if you do struggle with that, then you can definitely go for this one, but it's not really something I would recommend. The LRA, again, helping with that horizontal control, definitely doing a really good job there. Then we've got the lock shot. Again, I do think this is doing a pretty decent job at controlling the horizontal control. Probably not as good as it is with some of the other weapons we showed previously, but definitely helping out. We've also got the tread doing a solid job here when it comes to vertical and horizontal, but again, I think the most part we are looking for that horizontal control. So what we did is we actually took all the best compensators and put them on a spreadsheet when it comes to ADS speeds, because as we all know, ADS gets conned severely in this game when you put on muzzle attachments, or any attachment for that matter. So we tested the RAAL. The base ADS was 417 milliseconds, and then pretty much every muzzle that we put on there, well, the ones that control the recoil the best anyway, only give you an 8% ADS con, which is actually not too bad, to be fair. Now, there is some frame rounding in this because we're only testing at 60 FPS, so it could be a little bit different if people have more accurate tests out there. But like I said, this is a good test because most people are playing on 60 FPS anyway. So when it comes to the RAAL, I do think when it comes to LMGs, you probably won't notice too much of an ADS con. I think they've done that on purpose, but you can pretty much choose any one you prefer the look of when it comes to the recoil from the previous charts. Now, when it comes to the M4 here, the one that helps with recoil, and I do think it does a solid job, is the dark compensator or muzzle, whatever you want to call it, and it only gives you a 17% con to ADS, which is not too bad on the grand scheme of this game. As you can see there, you get a 34% con with the ported, which helped out a lot with recoil in my opinion, and the Komodo heavy, which is the one I was using previously in most of my builds, so I will be switching that now to the M4 with the dark muzzle on there. When it comes to the TAQ-V, you've got a similar case to the M4. So the base ADS is 250. With the dark, you've got the 283, which is a 13% increase to ADS, which is not too much if you are trying to get some control on your weapon. And then when it comes to the ones that are supposed to control the recoil the best, you are getting a pretty significant con at 20%. So the main one I can recommend the most is the dark compensator. So this is the dark KX30. I don't really know what you want to call it, but it's definitely helping out with recoil control, and it's helping with that recoil stabilization there. And as you can see from the charts, it definitely does help. And the good thing about this one is on pretty much every gun. So this is the Luckman 556, and you can get it on this gun. It's available for most LMGs and battle rifles as well, which is pretty much all the long range weapons you need it for. The other one I want to point out is the LR8, which is on pretty much every gun as well. It's just known as the Komodo Heavy on other weapons like the M4, for example. The Lockshot, again, very solid choice when it comes to controlling your recoil, but again, it does con your ADS. So there we have it. Those are the best muzzle compensator attachments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.